Back again for the first time in North America since 1991, the all-new Lexus ES 250 will feature all-wheel drive for the first time ever. Up until now, all ES series vehicles have been powered by only the front wheels, meaning winter driving wasn't the most fun, but is gladly welcomed by the comfortable and luxurious Lexus formula that many ES owners have grown to love. But before we get into specifics, let's take you for a quick tour around the car and show you what this new ES is all about. On the exterior, we have traditional Lexus design cues sprinkled all over. The aggressive edges and sculpted body lines carry through from the RC into the ES. There's a very striking yet elegant front fascia that incorporates this beautifully styled hourglass-shaped grille and the notorious checkmark style headlights. And if you're like me and this is a little too much chrome for you, the S-Sport variant does come with a fully blacked out grille that complements its exterior quite nicely. Overall, it's a very attractive front end, and like many other Lexuses, it has enormous presence on the road. This side profile shows you just how big this new ES really is. It's 2 inches wider and 3 inches longer than the previous generation. It has much broader shoulder lines that extend from the front fender all the way back to the rear and fit quite nicely with the rear end. It's a very sleek look with the sloping roof design, but it isn't anything too crazy and the rear headroom is still ample. These mirrors are nice and big so you have more visibility out the side, and these 18-inch alloy wheels do look really good, but I will say the 19-inch S-Sport ones do look a lot better. Lexus did a great job with the rear design of this car. It features these amazing taillights which look fantastic the way they're cut out. This chrome piece wraps itself around the rear end and couples fittingly with the chrome trim running along the bottom of the rear bumper. The lines are pleasantly incorporated and everything just flows together very nicely. On the inside, Lexus did a beautiful job of making this cabin feel upscale and luxurious. Everywhere you look, every button you touch, all look and feel premium. For example, take a look at this climate control switch. Nifty, eh? There's nothing cheaped out of in here, and it's overall a very nice place to be. There's a lovely wood trim that wraps around the entirety of the front cabin, and a massive infotainment screen that pairs up seamlessly with integrated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto systems. Apart from that though, the LFA style dash looks wonderful, especially complemented with this amazing wood trim steering wheel. There's a lot of storage space for whatever items you want to stow away, and there's ample room for more in the rear. In the back, there's plenty of storage for your passengers or for whatever items you want to throw back here. I'm 6 feet tall and I still have ample room for both my legs and my head. The exterior is a combination of sharp and elegant, and the interior cabin is cozy, luxurious, and exactly what we're used to seeing from Lexus. Now, let's start it up and see how this 4-cylinder performs on the road with the new all-wheel drive system. This 4-cylinder engine isn't going to give you the performance the V6 does. However, I will say that it does have really good low-down torque. It starts to die off once you get into the higher RPMs, which is where we're used to seeing that V6 shine. Engine aside, it is a really comfortable car to cruise around in. The steering is lovely the way it loosens up at lower speeds so you can maneuver better, and tightens up at higher speeds so you have better control. You'd expect this car to be a lot harder to navigate in tight spaces, but it's actually incredibly easy due to the cross-traffic alert systems and the endless amount of sensors and cameras that this car comes with. The handling is nice and tight once you're up to speed as well, and feels very smooth around bends. But I have to say the best part about this car has to be its suspension. Riding around you can barely feel bumps, as the suspension does such a great job of soaking them all up. It's not quite cloud-like, but it's fantastic for what it is. The all-wheel drive system is awesome too. It features their dynamic torque control, which can send up to 50% of the power to the rear wheels when they need it, and disengages it when they don't so you have better fuel economy, which by the way on this car is 28 miles per gallon, 2 better than the previous generation front-wheel drive version. But as for the all-wheel drive system, it does a phenomenal job in the winter. The car doesn't really slip, and when it does, the traction control system puts it back into line. If I were to describe this car's driving dynamics with one word, it'd have to be smooth. The transmission, the steering, the suspension, and the brakes are all incredibly smooth and make the car very easy to drive. There's also a host of safety features that will keep you safe at all times, including blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, pre-collision warning, and even predictive braking. The only thing the ES250 lacks is the soul the V6 and the ES350 offers. So,
who is this car really for?
Well, like every other car, it depends on what your priorities are. If you want something comfortable and good on gas for long trips, then I'd highly recommend the ES300H, which is just a hybrid version of this car and also in front-wheel drive. If you want soul and comfort but don't need the versatility of all-wheel drive, then I'd highly recommend the ES350, which is the V6 version of this car, and it doesn't have the all-wheel drive either. But if you're someone who prioritizes function and drives in any off-road terrain, then I'd highly recommend the ES250 all-wheel drive.
All things considered, the new Lexus ES250 offers the practicality of all-wheel drive and the build quality of Lexus all in a beautiful, well-built package. It's honestly surprised me, and I've enjoyed my time with it quite a bit. So, if you're searching for a good dependable daily cruiser, then definitely go take a look at the all-new ES lineup at Lexus South Pointe.